Many of you probably are familiar with and probably use some form of behavioral descriptive interviewing where we look at the past as a predictor of the future. It makes a lot of sense. You're looking to solve this need. And you know what? When that first came out, I would say in the 80s, the first time I heard about it, I started using it. It made a lot of sense because when you hired somebody, the lay of the land did not change, sometimes for years. It was basically, that was the model. This was before the internet. We didn't even have computers on our desks in those early days. It wasn't email, it was paper mail. And so the rate of change, in fact, if I recall, fax machines didn't show up until the mid 80s. So it wasn't until fax machines showed up and then followed by Federal Express and overnight mail that we had this sort of instantaneous information flow. So when information went by U.S. mail and went back and forth, you didn't have the rapid change that you do. Now, fast forward to, 30, 40 years after Moore's Law, which said technology capability will double every 18 months. It originally said every 12 months, but then they did a backward look and said more like 18 months. We're on that steep part of the curve. It's so steep right now in terms of change that by the time you hire somebody based on what they did in their last 2 years, the lay of the land may have changed. So here's the point, hiring using a behavioral descriptive interviewing approach, which I agree with, by the way, but within the context or within some parameters, because that hiring decision is based on their conditioning. Those leaders did what they did because of their conditioning. Why do I say that? Because 95% of everything we do is done by habit. And if we're running by habit, then it tells me that those habits are going to repeat, which is why the past is a good predictor of the future. And those habit patterns are from the past, let alone being from a different organization, which is not that big a deal because leaders are leading people, not things. The point being that what you need moving forward may not be in somebody's conditioning. You may need to train it and teach it.